Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Adrienne Gilliard here with Sandra Bazan, and we're from ELC's Inclusion Team bringing you Behavior Bites Tidbits. Our tidbit topic for today is going to be a little bit different. We usually always talk about challenging behaviors and how we have to push in with those children who usually give us, a hard time and give us challenging behaviors and display undesired behaviors. But it's really seldom that we talk about the things that we do for those children in our classrooms that do stay on task and don't exhibit any challenging behaviors. And there's a reason why we're getting into this. And Sandy and I are going to discuss that a little bit. And we're also going to take our time and give you 4 tips for acknowledging those children.
Okay. Yeah, so I think it's really, really important for us to talk about why, right? So as teachers, as parents too, right? It's human nature. We tend to focus on those aversive, those behaviors that just don't make me feel good as a teacher.
Right.
The child is screaming, throwing a tantrum, throwing objects. Those are all, aversive behaviors in the classroom that gain my attention, right? So what happens when something gains your attention? It's actually you're reinforcing the behavior unless you're doing the appropriate procedures. The problem then becomes if a teacher and or a parent continuously just provides attention or is just focused on those maladaptive behaviors, what we're really doing is no longer reinforcing those pro-social positive behaviors that we want to see in the classroom. So then what ends up happening? Our negative, challenging behaviors increase. We hear teachers all the time saying, oh no, now everybody is doing this or that or the other, right? All the children are copying this one particular child. Wow.
And it becomes the climate of the classroom.
Well, why? Because that negative behavior has been reinforced, right? And so those positive behaviors, we have got to train ourselves to provide positive reinforcement. We have to reinforce those positive behaviors, right? If not, those behaviors become diminished. They decrease in our classrooms and maladaptive behaviors increase. We want to see the opposite. So how do we do that? We do that by what we're going to call having positive behavior parties, right?
Positive behavior parties.
I think that's what we're going to call them. So what does that look like in the classroom?
All right. It looks like this in the classroom, and these are also things that you can do at home as well.
Absolutely.
So the first tip that we have is giving a VIP experience, and this can look a lot of different ways. Sandy and I talked about it earlier, and one of the ways was having a center or a table in the classroom that's set up in a special way. And Sandy, you gave a really good example earlier about lunch.
Oh my gosh. So as the educator and as parents, we are their highly preferred adult. We should be. If we've done our jobs and we've built that rapport, right. These children should want our attention so much, right? What if, because Adrienne, you're doing you just earned lunch with me, Miss Sandy. You get to sit at my table with me and we can have lunch together. What do you think the climate? What do you think the other students are going to start to do?
The other students are going to take notice of what that child did and try to do it themselves because everybody wants to have lunch with the teacher.
Everybody does. What if we had specific items, tangible toys that are in this beautiful box that's decorated with a big bow on it because we're doing positive behavior parties, right? So now there has to be a theme. Let's say that it's gift wrapped and now you present it to them. You have done such an amazing job making those green choices all day long. This is what you get. They've earned it. But it's not only to reinforce their positive behaviors,
but to also reinforce the other children so that they see that it's a model. It's a model.
They start to understand, oh, wait a minute, I kind of like this attention better than the negative attention that those maladaptive behaviors might be pulling out from the educator, from the teacher or the parent, right? So that's giving that VIP treatment. That's huge. That is huge. And you can come up with a bunch of and going back to providing choices, we can also put it back into their court, right? We can have a classroom morning meeting about positive behavior parties. What do you want to see? What would you like to have?
Mhm.
And listen and start taking notes, because the kids will tell you what they will work for.
What they'll work for.
What will they work for? And especially pay attention to that child that does give those maladaptive behavior, those challenging behaviors. They're going to come up with their own ideas. Put those ideas in the box. And then when you allow that other student to play with all of the items, guess what happens? There's a switch that happens, right? So everybody starts to buy into, oh, I want to be good.
Mhm.
Good, quote unquote, right? I want
to make green choices.
I want to make green choices, right? I want to behave the way I'm expected to, because Miss Sandy and Miss Adrian, ooh, they throw the best parties, positive behavior parties.
Absolutely. And you talked about doing those things in morning meeting. Another thing that you can do is give them a special shout out during circle time or during morning meeting to acknowledge those students. So
the power of pivotal praise. That's what you're talking about, really. So when absolutely acknowledge them, make a big deal. Maybe there's a certificate, maybe there's a ribbon, maybe, I don't know. Everybody's going to have their own way of taking this and running with it. But not only just in those certain times, but also when you catch them being good, right? When you catch them making those choices, that's when you want to switch all the attention. Even if somebody is throwing a toy back there, even if somebody is tantruming back there, I'm going to ignore the negative behavior, right? That's attention seeking, maybe in functionality. And now I'm going to pivot and give you, Adrian, all my attention, because I am also going to be very explicit as to why I'm giving you the attention. Adrian, I just love the way that you used your words just now. You made me so look, I mean, and shower that praise.
Shower that praise.
The minute you do that, it's incredible. And anybody that's a teacher you can attest to this. The minute that you say, oh, I love the way Miss Sally is sitting, everybody starts to sit everybody starts to kind of buckle up. So that's definitely the power of pivotal praise.
Right.
Is another good tip.
One other good tip is to allow extra time during the week or during the day for preferred activities. Everybody loves Play-Doh, and everybody always wants extra time with the Play-Doh. So that's one of those rewards that you can give as well.
And it's earned. And you can say that out loud. I love the way that you just shared that toy. You just earned some extra minutes with, what do you want to play with? What's your favorite toy? After nap time, you're going to get that. Yeah, I mean, but the key point is to be explicit as to what they did out loud so that the whole classroom can hear. And that way we're now focused, that we're shifting the focus. This is another way that you can get whatever it is that you want if you do A, B, and C.
And our final tip that we have, and Sandy, this one was my favorite because of the optics that you gave, is give these children an important or a special job to do with all of the extra frills and additives. So let's explain that a little bit, Sandy.
Okay, so we have those coveted classroom jobs. And in the classroom, there's always one job that is the most favorite, whatever that is, right? In my classroom, it was always like, be my helper. Well, if you are my helper, you might just have a tiara. You might just wear the tiara because you are the queen or the princess of green choices. You have earned that, and you now get to be my assistant. And anything I need today, I'm going to go to Miss Adrian over here, because Miss Adrian, you've earned it, right? Everybody is going to want to wear the tiara or the badge or the special vest or a special cape. Right, because they're super people, they're superpowers, right?
Exactly.
So you have the superpower of making green choices. That's your superpower. You're amazing at making green choices, and now you get to wear the prompt, because who doesn't love to dress up, right? Which child doesn't love to dress up,
right?
And you're giving them the incentive to do what it is you're expecting them to do. So now.
And to definitely continue to acknowledge that child that is always doing what you
Right
asked.
thing. I mean, because think about it. If we think about it the opposite way, why would I want to do the right thing? Why do I want to make green choices if it doesn't get me
It doesn't
anything?
get me anything, right?
That's the nature of behavior. Behavior is going to be maintained due to the reinforcement provided, right? So if they are making the expectations and they're behaving as expected, well, what do they gain from that?
Mm-hmm.
That's the trick.
That's the trick. All right. So Sandy and I just wanted to take a moment out to acknowledge those children that are always going the extra mile, that are always doing what we expect them to do. The ideas that we came up with, you can embellish them, make them as big and as grandiose as you need to. We just came up with a few ideas, but I'm sure you'll have fun with this.
Absolutely.
So if you're experiencing any challenging behaviors in your classroom, you can always reach out to Debbie Kay on our warm line. The number is 954-295-0672. We'd like to encourage you to connect with us on Behavior Bites Zoom that is held every Friday from 1 until 2. Speak to your director about registering. And if you found this video and other videos of ours helpful, please like, share, and subscribe.
Take care.